Right now, the internet feels like a basic necessity. It's not something you think about. It's something you assume will always be there. You wake up, check your phone, scroll, search, watch, reply, and repeat. It's part of your routine, so normal that you don't even question it. Now imagine this clearly. Tomorrow morning, there is no internet. Not slow, not limited, completely gone. No social media, no search engines, no online payments, no cloud, nothing. At first, most people would think it's just a temporary issue, maybe a network problem. But as time passes, it becomes obvious that it's something bigger. And that's when the real impact starts to show. The first thing that breaks is convenience. You can't instantly search for information. You can't rely on maps to navigate. You can't communicate instantly with people who are far away. Even small daily tasks become slower and more complicated. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is how much thinking has been outsourced. People don't remember things anymore because they don't need to. They don't develop problem-solving skills because answers are always one search away. Over time, the brain adapts to convenience and stops working as hard. Without the internet, this becomes obvious. You are forced to rely on memory, judgment, and reasoning again. And for many people, that feels uncomfortable, not because it's impossible, but because it's unfamiliar. This is where critical thinking comes in. Most people confuse access to information with understanding. Just because you can search something doesn't mean you truly understand it. Just because you consume content doesn't mean you are learning. The internet gives answers, but it also removes the struggle that builds real thinking. When that system disappears, you are left with whatever you have actually learned and understood, not what you saved, liked, or watched. Another important point is control. The internet feels like a tool, but in many ways it shapes behavior. It decides what you see, what you pay attention to, and how you spend your time. Without it, you realize how much of your routine was influenced rather than chosen. So the situation is not just about losing access, it's about exposure. It exposes your habits, your level of independence, and your ability to function without constant support. At the same time, it also creates an opportunity. Without constant distraction, attention becomes clearer. Without endless input, thinking becomes deeper. You start making decisions based on your own judgment instead of reacting to whatever appears on your screen. This doesn't mean the internet is bad. It is one of the most powerful tools ever created. But a tool is only useful if you are in control of it. If you become dependent on it for everything, then it stops being a tool and becomes a necessity you can't function without. So the real question is not whether the internet will disappear. The real question is, if it does, what remains? Your skills, your knowledge, your ability to think, and your ability to adapt. If those are weak, the problem is not the loss of the internet. The problem is what you didn't build while you had it. And that leads to a simple conclusion. Use the internet, but don't rely on it for everything. Learn things deeply, not just quickly. Build the ability to think, not just the habit of searching. Because in the end, tools can disappear, systems can fail,